Todd has sent the challenge, and we're just waiting on ads to reply, and there it is. The reply comes in. The difficult thing for Todd now is that, unfortunately, ads has a lot more information from game 1 than Todd does. Neither of them have perfect information on their teams, but ads has quite a bit more information, whereas Todd hasn't really seen a lot of these Pokemon. Todd hasn't really seen a whole lot out of the Donphan, or Todd hasn't seen a single move from the Revavroom that got frozen, and literally hasn't seen Salamence or Dondozo, which are probably the two biggest threats. And it's the same leads as last time. Last time it was Earthquake and Stealth Rock, and you wonder if it's going to be the same this time around. Todd hovering over the Terrastalize button. I don't know if he realizes he can't do that. I'm joking. Oh! Oh, and we're back. Todd is taking a look at his notes. I wonder if he's trying to figure out what type Donphan is. Donphan looks like it could maybe be Rock type, but it is in fact not. Donphan is a Ground type, and Ground is going to do neutral damage. Todd seems to be contemplating attacking this time around. Just seeming to hesitate a little bit on which attack to use. You wonder if Todd is going to go for the attack or if he's going to go for the safe play. He goes for a more safe play, bringing Todd Jr. in, and the Earthquake hits. And his opponent doesn't have anything set up. You take a little bit of damage, but you do recoup that a little bit by virtue of being able to deal with your opponent a little more actively. And now the Revavroom comes in. This is an interesting one. He brought this in last time, the second that Slowbro came in, so you have to imagine this thing has something for Slowbro. I wonder if it's knockoff? No, it's toxic. It's a toxic set to keep that Slowbro from just staying on the field for forever, which is interesting. And now the Revavroom is a little cornered because at the end of this turn it's going to take Future Sight damage. On top of that, it's staring down a Tyranitar, which it almost certainly cannot KO. And even if it is faster, it's going to be taking an Earthquake, which will absolutely KO it. So now Ads has to make a call. What is Todd going to do here? And it's Parting Shot. Easy call to make. Parting Shot, a very difficult move to play around. Mabostiff comes in, and that's a smart switch because, as we see, the Future Sight's going to hit, but being a Dark-type, Mabostiff is immune. And now this Tyranitar, which I think... No, Tyranitar didn't pick up the KO last time, but now this Tyranitar is a little hamstrung here, being poisoned. Oh, hold on. Gotta Google something, ladies and gentlemen. Is Fairy good against Dark? It is. Fairy is super effective against Dark. Not only that, but Fairy will also resist Dark-type moves. It will not, however... Oh, a critical hit. Play rough. That is brutal. And suddenly all the luck is swinging the other way. It's an easy click for a player, but it lives! Oh, Rhonda lives. And now... So, this story isn't over yet, folks. That was a tough critical hit to take, but a nice damage roll right there. That was probably a roll to kill. And it activates the weak armor, and oh my goodness, we've got a full health Armarouge at +2 speed, 2 times its normal speed, and this is about to get very, very scary for his opponent. Todd can now essentially click whatever move he wants with impunity, and I don't know that anything his opponent has is going to be able to outspeed it. So if you're Todd, what do you do here? Do you go for the super effective attack? You almost certainly have Aura Sphere, or do you try to read a switching? And if you try to read a switching, what do you go for? And if you're Ads, do you let this Pokemon go down and see what this thing has? Or do you want to try to preserve Lil Snoot a little bit longer? Dondozo comes in! Energy Ball hits, and it's almost a one-hit KO! Todd, playing out of his mind, reading the Dondozo switch, knowing that there was probably going to be a fire move or a fighting type move that wouldn't have done as much, and now the Dondozo is at 6% HP. It doesn't pick up the KO, but that Dondozo is going to be hamstrung for the rest of this game. And Todd putting up quite a fight. The Revavroom comes in. That's going to double resist that Grass-type attack. And at this point, you may be a little bit out of options here if you're Todd. You may have to switch out. Now, this is a difficult situation because if you are ads, this is... I mean, you kind of just get your pick, right? You can choose to attack if you think Todd is going to go into a Pokemon you can do damage to. But you can also just Parting Shot. Yep, and he goes for the play. Parting Shot will get you out second, so anything that you do, anything that your opponents go for, you can just switch into a favorable matchup. This is why Parting Shot is such a good move. Not only does it give you the ability to switch out and lower your opponent's stats, but it also lets you keep momentum against switches. Todd saying to ban driving in the chat. I gotta say it. I gotta agree. Oh, and it's the butterfly. This is an interesting switch here. I don't know that this thing it can't put Tyranitar to sleep. It goes for sleep powder. I don't know if ads realize Tyranitar is poisoned. This Tyranitar is still poisoned. And yeah, oh no, ads making a crucial mistake there. That was, ooh. That was rough. Ads makes a crucial mistake, and the Pokemon that picked up 6 KOs for him last time, I mean, it's just not going to be doing anything anymore. Even at -1 special attack, even at -1 attack, Stone Edge will absolutely kill. And I think he just didn't know that Tyranitar was still... Ooh, but it's a Play Rough, which is a nice read into the Heracross, and Marco's Stink goes down. Bugs are just dropping left and right, folks. You know, you almost wonder if you're Todd, if you could go for the exact same play you just did, right? Like, instead of switching in Marco's Stink, you could go for Heatman. And ultimately, ads did the exact same thing. There is definitely opportunities here for Todd to make a read like that in the future and make a call, especially because you don't have Dondozo being able to take any hits anymore. You know, getting in a strong Pokemon and attacking with it, it's going to be a lot harder for his opponent to deal with. The real question is, what is going to deal with the Salamence and how? That's going to be the real issue. At the moment, I see one real way for Todd to deal with Salamence, and that is Todd Jr. That Slowbro with Ice Beam should be able to at least hold its own against the Salamence. Todd decides to go for Bramblegast here, and this is a tough play. Todd, ooh, making a risky play here. Bramblegast is, of course, weak to Dark-type moves, but picks up the KO with Power Whip. Todd, a bold play. Todd is going for the win, ladies and gentlemen. Todd has been swept, and he is out for blood. And Todd picks up the second KO. It is now a 2-1 lead. It's a 2-1 lead, and honestly, you know, it's a little deceptive, right? Because on the one hand, Ads has that Dondozo at such low health. On the other hand, Ads also Todd has the Florges at very low health. And now, what do? You have to imagine this is some kind of poison-type attack. So what can you do against a Revavroom? Again, this is the thing that makes Revavroom so interesting and so good, is that you can just sort of read an attack, but oh, it's an attack! It's an Iron Head, and it's the same thing as last time. Todd is saying you can't just mindlessly click physical attacks against me. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. And now, again, this is a really tough situation for Ads because you don't want to let this Revavroom go down. It's doing such a job for you. But at the same time, you have to switch something in. And you may just have to sack him on. And Dondozo comes in, and yeah, just sacks Dondozo. And the Armor Cannon comes out. That lowers defense. I don't know that there's any priority on this team, though. The only priority I can see on this team is Ice Shard from Donphan, and it wouldn't even come close to taking the KO. So at this point, I think Ads has to hard switch into the Salamence. But if you're Todd, you're almost content to take damage on the Salamence, even if it means losing your Armor Rouge. because if you lose your Armor Rouge, but you get that damage on that Salamence, if you can get Salamence down, this game is over. And I know it's a resisted move, but Armor Cannon is a ridiculously strong move. To go into something like Salamence that is very bulky. And in comes the White Eyes Blue Dragon. You gotta love the names. Some really, really solid names coming out on both sides here. So it's interesting to see what Todd might go for here. He's got the plus speed. He's got the advantage. He's got the ability to... Molly named the Salamence. That's a really good name, Molly. He's got the ability to just take free damage on this thing. He would, however, be sacking Armor Rouge. So now what Todd needs to be thinking about is, can I afford to sack Armor Rouge? Can I win this without Armor Rouge? And he thinks he can. He goes for the Armor Cannon. It does over half. Dragon Claw picks up the KO, naturally. It's at -2. Oh, but Moxie. It's a Moxie boost on that Salamence. And, well, with Slowbro, you have to think that Todd is going to be able to do something here. I don't think you can stay in, because I don't think that you kill this Slowbro without a crit. And you can't rely on just getting a crit Dragon Claw. So now, if you're Ads, you're kind of in a corner. Yeah, you gotta bring Revavroom back out. Does it freeze? No. Okay. We don't get two. That would be something. So the Toxic does come out onto the Slowbro, and Thunderwave misses! Todd misses the Thunderwave onto the Revavroom, and that is brutal. That's a tough miss to take. One thing to note, though, is that Future Sight is a lot stronger here now. Ironhead coming out, and Ad's trying to go for the flinch. But the Thunderwave does come out. Slowbro is taking a lot of damage here. Todd's got to be a little careful. He doesn't want to let this thing take too much. But Future Sight, yeah. So Future Sight is a stronger move now, because Ads doesn't have a free switch into that. And Ads only has so much HP left, and he's only really got one Pokemon he can afford to sacrifice. So if you're Todd now, you've gotten the Future Sight out. You can't really do much damage. You have to imagine you're going to switch, right? And the question is, what do you do? Do you switch into a Pokemon you can make progress, or do you switch into a Pokemon and try to sack it? Or do you just stay in and just try to take this Revavroom down? He's giving it some thought. If I'm Todd in this situation, I really want to keep my Slowbro alive, because if I don't have Slowbro alive, that puts me in a really tough situation where I probably have to hit a Stone Edge with Tyranitar, because the other two Pokemon left probably can't win. Oh, Todd makes the read with Ice Beam. What do I know? You know, I would have switched out 100% of the time that turn, but Ice Beam comes out and Donphan takes over half its health. Todd perfectly content to just let damage go onto the Slowbro. Oh, but that's gonna trade the Slowbro. And now, I don't know, Slowbro goes down, and I don't know who's going to win this. I don't know who's going to be winning this one. I think now Todd has to go for... I think you have to go for Tyranitar. This Revavroom is paralyzed, so it won't be able to outspeed you anymore. So now you have to... I think you got to try to win with Tyranitar. I think you have to try to win just using... that is your win condition, because unfortunately Rhonda can't make any progress here. Revavroom comes out, and so does Tyranitar. And it's going to be down to Girth, who is poisoned. And it's really going to be, can Girth take a hit from Salamence and then kill it? And then also, what is Ad's going to do? Is Ad's going to stay in and Parting Shot, or is he going to Earthquake? I think if you're Todd here, you gotta play it safe. You gotta try to go for the Earthquake. Because if this thing Parting Shots you, that's probably game over. Todd is rolling a dice to decide his move, leaving it to fate. Todd has rolled a... Is that a 1? Todd appears to have rolled a 1. Oh boy. Todd has rolled a crit fail. And yep, that was the wrong move. Oh boy. And Ironhead comes out. And Todd crit fails, and that might be the end of the match, folks. Todd might have just barely run out of steam here. The Earthquake comes out and picks up the KO on Revavroom, and Tyranitar goes down, and at this point, it's down to Rango to try to pick up the KO. Rhonda surely cannot take a hit from this thing. Todd is just going to click Moonblast and pray. Dual Wing Beat comes out, and that's going to kill. And it's getting the Moxie boost now, and oh my goodness. Oh, but with the Life Orb, oh, does it... Will Life Orb make a difference? Is Life Orb going to make a difference? I don't know. I don't know how much this is doing at plus... Oh, Dual Wing Beat comes out, and the Salamence barely...
That was close. That was a close one, you guys.
Oh my goodness.
GG.
Oh, wow.
GG. Don't tell ads
that was such
really
a
fun.
close match.
Man, I'm eliminated.
Oh my goodness. It really did just come down to whether you clicked Earthquake or Stone Edge.
God, I was anticipating a switch.
I don't know if that may not have mattered. I don't know if Dragon Claw kills Tyranitar from that health. It probably does.
Yeah. To me, it was the mistake that I made that could have won me the match was when I switched in Marco Stink instead of switching in Armarouge.
Yeah, I would have had that at the time.
If I would have had Marco then, but I was thinking like ads is gonna anticipate me to switch in Armarouge because I already did it, and it would have been the perfect play.
I mean, you got ads with that twice, right? You
Yeah.
had 3 opportunities.
Yeah, and
well.
if I would have done, man, that was close. I feel a lot better about
really
like my game against Pyres. I got just completely thrashed, but I feel like I lasted 26 turns.
Hey
guys.
Hi ads.
Won.
Good game.
Oh, great game! Yeah, that second game, God, my heart is still racing.
Ooh, I thought I had it.
Oh, well, I knew I was Life Orb, then I was like looking, being like, is this Life Orb gonna kill me?
That's what I was counting on.
I didn't even consider that, but at the time I was.
That's why I switched in the Florges.
If you'd have held out for one more turn, Todd, that would have been a win.
Yeah.
Yep.
If I got another freeze.
Oh. Oh, that freeze! Because my whole team behind that was basically around Revavroom. Was basically like Revavroom has a lot of defensive capability against you, so I'm like, I'm gonna switch it in, even the stuff that it can't really kill. Like, me trying to get Toxic on Slowbro was like step 1 of like every match I went into, because I was like, that thing is nasty and I want it to die.
Slowbro, not only in my all-time like top 5 favorite Pokemon, but like that thing did work in game 2.
Oh,
I'm so proud of my son, my beautiful son.
Oh, it did great.
Yeah. I think that you made a lot of progress with Slowbro right at the end. The one thing for me that I was mentioning was like, I think that Slowbro was your way to beat Salamence once it was chipped. And I mean, if you could have found a way to do that work with your other Pokemon, I think that would have been a win.
Yeah.
Yeah, very, very, very possibly. I deliberately held after it was after that chip damage had taken, I was just like, yeah, this is gonna come out at the end if at all again. Yeah. Like it's really hard with Salamence to like get it into a position where it can start doing stuff. That's been one of the biggest issues I've had with my team, just trying to get it like active and up, because it dies. It really dies.
That's kind of the problem I have with Tyranitar. It just dies.
Yep.
It's strong, but
yep. Yeah. It's yeah. I mean, it was a really good pivot you did in game 2 by being like, okay, Earthquake's coming. I'm just gonna set Sandstorm and get the hell out of here. It's fine. I was like, okay, cool. And then like you picked up that kill on Vivillon as well, and I was like, that's annoying. It's like, oh no.
I can't believe I got by that. After I saw everybody else get quiver danced to death in round 1, and then it happens to me.
Quiver dance
I brought it in.
Another victim.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why I brought it in, because I was like, oh yeah, I got this thing, and I saw Finn wrecked me with it last week, so I was like, let's see if that works.
And my team has no speed, so
you
get that up, and I don't stand a chance.
Yeah, it's. I mean, well, and the thing is, like, the villain is so good with like compound eyes. The fact that I can be like hurricanes nearly at 90% all of a sudden,
Mhm.
and sleep powder's like 95 or something. It's
Oh,
just
compound
ridiculous.
eyes.
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
makes a lot of sense.
yeah. So I can do these big hits, and I'm just like, cool, whatever. And then I put Bug Buzz on there just for like when I need to guarantee a kill. Also, I didn't know if your Bramble had Wind Rider, and I wasn't taking that chance.
Oh, I
Like,
should have put Wind Rider on it. I had Infiltrator on it. God, if I
ah,
would have had,
right, yeah, no,
why didn't I
yeah. That's
switch
why
that?
Wind right. I mean, it depends on what
Well,
I guess they're carrying because it's only wind moves. It's not flying. But like
yeah,
for me, I
Hurricane.
was like, if you have Wind Rider, I'm screwed. Like,
Uh,
I have to Quiver Dance twice and then Bug Buzz basically, which
yeah.
was the position of a tricky position to get in because again, a villain does not take a lot to kill,
I kind
even
of
when it's
forgot
Quiver
about
Dance.
I forgot about Wind Rider because Infiltrator has been so good for me in my practice matches. Everybody likes to set up substitutes and screens and stuff, and I was like, nah,
Y-
no,
Yep.
you know you don't.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
But
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, just a very unique thing for I guess my team specifically. I was just like, if he has Wind Rider, I need to be really careful right in what I'm
yeah,
gonna do right now.
and I'll be honest, Vivillon was the one that I expected you not to bring.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was like, I looked at it and I was like, oh, this has no stats. I'm not gonna see it. And then, of course,
It has Quiver
the
Dance.
same thing that happened to me in round one with the Bruxish. This time it was Vivillon.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
It's a hidden gem for villain, honestly.
yeah.
Yeah, Compound Mise makes it work pretty much because it doesn't really have a fantastic move pool otherwise, so it needs Compound Eyes to make
And
things make what it does get good.
my other strategy against you was I was looking at your team and I noticed you really don't have very many special attackers besides our ball of
No, nope.
Gothitelle could be one, and then slacking could go either way. I could see a special
Yep.
attacking slacking be really funny, but I tailored my team around physical defense,
Yes.
um, except for the ones that I knew needed to stall like your big special attack threats. So like
Yeah.
my Florges was 100% defensively trained, Slowbro defensively trained. I think I ran Bold Nature on it. I don't remember, but
Right.
yeah,
Okay. Okay. That makes sense because I was just like, I ran my practice matches and somehow this is doing less damage than I was thinking it's doing. What's going on here?
that's
What's
that's
happening?
that what it was.
Oh, yeah, that's good. Yeah, I think honestly, for my team only, yeah, the villain is the only thing that I really have that is special. Yeah, that I run. Like,
Yeah,
oh, and how do you pronounce it? Like, Arboliver as well.
yeah.
So, like, but and that kind of fell over in my match with Finn. I was like, it's good. It's a good Pokemon. I need to kind of figure what I'm doing with that a bit more. But, um, yeah, the villain is just. I was like, nah. Because having two sweepers in Salamence and Villain is very handy to be like, if one of them dies, the
Yeah.
other one can pick up the slack. It's fine.
Oh, who are my two? I forgot. I've got obviously Armarouge,
Oh yeah.
Heracross.
Heracross. Yeah, Heracross. Man, that was dumb. I got it killed in really too early in game two. If I would have had
I
Heracross at the end, I would have won.
I
yeah.
mean, it
Heracross
is
is.
it is poetic. I think that this match came down to Todd rolled a die and crit fail, and then made
Yep.
the
Yeah.
move that if it had been Earthquake, you would have won on Life Orb.
Well, I thought Salamence was going to come in anticipation of an Earthquake because I was toxic, and I was like, you could switch in Salamence here, and then Earthquake won't hit. So
Yep.
Mhm.
that's probably coming out. So I need to Stone Edge, and yeah, that ended up. I rolled a die.
Mhm.
If it was evens, I was gonna Stone
Sometimes
or
it's just about you get a 50-50 and you have to call it right, and sometimes you don't.
hey,
Yeah. Yeah, I saw that and I knew that I was potentially walking into something super effective no matter what. And I was just like, I'm just gonna have to have a guess and see what he goes with.
I
But yeah,
I'm really proud. Although I lost in both of my matches, the two like super OU Pokemon did nothing on me. Dondozo,
oh,
not a threat.
Mhm.
Don't
oh
care.
no, 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 no. Immediately the second I saw your lineup, I was like, oh cool, Dondo's is gonna be useless. I literally was just like, okay, this is just a health battery and a pivot for a free switch in. That was, that was all I
Yeah,
knew it was gonna do nothing.
I was
But
ride
yeah,
or
you
die
handled that really well.
with my top six. Like I wasn't gonna use anything outside my top six, except for
Mm,
maybe Muck if I needed a. But you had like rapid spin potential on a couple of your guys, I think. So like I'm not gonna bring
yes.
that. I'm not gonna bring a Muck
Yeah.
to a Rev of Room fight.
Yeah, I mean, Reverum has honestly it's been funny, like looking at my draft that like Mabostiff has really in my match with Finn as well, like Mabostiff was actually really key to getting a lot of damage off as well. Having stakeout is like such a good ability when
Yeah.
people are switching into you all the time. Even hitting neutral is like big damage. Um,
Oh,
Vivil,
stakeout. That's why you did so much damage.
yep. Yeah, so it does double damage
Oh,
when you switch in, which is what I was kind of
Oh,
counting on with a lot of stuff with Dark, which means I was
that's
forcing a
why that
switch out,
so
and
much
Yeah.
I would
too.
it was
Oh my
forcing
goodness.
Todd to switch in on me, and then I could hit with honestly
that's
just
why.
play rough. Yeah, it's a
Huh.
very big hitter. It's a very sneaky hitter.
I didn't look that up.
Yeah, I mean this is something I researched for Finn because I was like I need to kill Hydreigon, and I was just like wait
Yeah.
a minute.
Ah, So I
um,
really wanted
yeah.
to face Finn just to see my Florges go up against that Hydreigon, but
Oh,
wasn't meant
boy,
to be.
yeah. But yeah, there's I don't know. There was some really cool stuff in that match. It was like it felt this, especially the second one was so tight. Like I was sweating the whole time, just
Yeah.
being like, oh god, oh god.
That was so close.
Yeah, I think that's got to be the closest match we've had, right?
Good.
Yeah. It ends with one my one Pokemon on 6%.
Yeah, and I mean one more turn. Yeah,
Yep.
you had one last turn
Yeah.
and you won on it.
I
I
think
don't actually know what happens in the game if it's a double
that
KO
would have
on
been
the
a double
last turn.
KO.
So
I'm sure.
if you kill something and you die to Life Orb, then you win.
Did it even calculate the
Okay.
life orb damage?
It did. Well, at the end
Oh,
of my last turn, it did. That's what got me down to 6.
oh no, it didn't.
Yeah, so
On
if
turn
you
26,
had died to Life Orb damage,
when you killed my Bramblegast, you didn't take life orb damage. I don't
no,
think.
I believe
Did
you
it?
did.
Oh, never mind.
No, I did
Yeah.
because I was on 26, and
Oh,
then I took the down to 16, down to 6.
how does
Yeah,
life orb work? Is it a percentage or?
10%.
10%.
Oh, dang, I
I
should have.
looked that up. Like I looked that up 10 minutes before we started. It's like,
Oh
wait a
yeah.
minute. Oh, it was
Yeah.
so yeah, that actually saved me because I was running my set was running heavy boot Salamence 10 minutes before we started this match, and I was like, wait a minute, I probably should change that.
Yeah. Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it was really really close. That was down to the
Yeah.
wire.
Yeah, that was a phenomenal match. Yeah, super good. Also, I was gonna say as well, Todd, you made some awesome reads using
Mhm.
Armourouge as well. There were a couple times I was like, I mean, he could. I was like, yeah, he could energy ball. I don't think he's going to because he's going in on what, like. Yeah, that's fine. Like I got like
Was it?
3 things here. Resist the grass. Like it's such a low chance. It'd be really risky to do that. I'm gonna switch to Dondozo. Oh, like immediately. Just be like, oh my god,
I
what
thought it
have I
was gonna.
done?
I thought it was gonna one shot it.
Oh, you were so.
Yeah.
That was
Oh
so. I
boy.
mean, it essentially did, right? Like
Oh yeah, it was
Yeah.
useless
because
after
at
that
that
because it's the
point,
slowest thing.
Sandstorm would have killed it.
yeah, Dundozo like at that point Dundozo can't come back in, and yeah,
Yeah,
It could.
at that point I was like, it's dead, and it's just a free. It's a free switch. It's a safe
Yeah.
switch in
It's a pivot.
when I wanted to die.
Yeah.
That's all.
Awesome. Well, so,
Yeah.
So you're up against Numbers next. It'll be an exciting
Okay, cool.
match. Numbers has got that Orthworm.
Excellent.
Don't. I learned this in my mini practice matches with Numbers. I kept forgetting that Orthworm, you can't hit it with Earthquake, so don't do that. I tried to
Oh,
do
yeah,
that.
do
that's
not
it.
try that.
I tried it like
That's
three
very
or
handy.
4 times.
You're like,
Yeah,
what is
don't do
happening?
it.
Why? It's steel.
This should
That's
be
my
fine.
advice.
What is happening?
Yeah. It heals
Yeah,
it? No.
use a fire move, for God's sake.
Yeah.
A fighting move, even.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh, I might be able to bust out some fighting poke. I've been waiting. Ooh, I don't know. I'll have to play with the set, but I've been looking at Flamigo just sitting in my tent, being like, I want to use you, but I don't know how.
Flamingo's
So-
threatening. Yeah.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good, and I just haven't had. Well, I looked at it and I was just like, man, you could easily put. You're gonna have rock on, obviously on Taranta, and I was like, you could even run Stone Edge on Heracross to be really nasty as well. And I was just like,
Mhm.
I don't want to take 3 flying Pokemon to this.
Yeah.
And especially you've got such a good lock on fighting. Like I actually, Dondozo, because Dondozo basically has to run like either a water move, general liquidation, and body press. and so either one, when you sleep talk, is going to be pretty good damage. I looked at your team and I was just like, I can't run body press. Like, this will do nothing. It's like your
No,
entire team is
you would
resistant to
lose
fighting.
you would lose to Slowbro if you
Oh,
had that set.
yeah, I was like, I
My
went,
boy.
heavy slam? Heavy slam? I was like, I don't know. I didn't even get to use it anyway. I was like, it's probably like super edge case, but I was like, maybe I can catch Florges, maybe with it, maybe,
Well,
but other than that,
I
it's
had-
kind of useless.
I had Grass Knot on Florges,
Oh my god.
Mhm.
specifically just for Dondozo, just in case.
Oh god, yeah.
So one thing is we now have the entire second week figured out. It is the matches in the winner's side. I believe Liam surrendered to Val, so we have Val versus KDAB.
Oh, I didn't know
And
about that
then-
one, Liam.
The other side is going to be myself versus Pyres to decide who goes into the winner's bracket.
Wow.
And
That'll be
then
spicy. Looking forward to that
on-
one.
on loser's side, we have I believe it's going to be Yuri versus Liam, Finn versus Wish, Ross versus Spool, and Numbers versus UADs.
Awesome.
Okay. That's a good lineup.
Mhm.
Very excited. Oh.
And let it be known, myself and Smallfish, the only two competitors that didn't win a single game. Oh, 0-4,
Oh,
baby.
no.
I'm gonna be the very best, though. I'm gonna train my guys. I'm gonna show them the
Mhm.
power that's
This is-
inside. We're coming
This
back.
is all part of the
The
Todd Gonzalez tournament arc.
The tournament arc. I'm gonna start taking
the-
competitive Pokemon way too seriously.
Yeah.
Well, I will say that you ran into Pies, and Pies has just been
Oh.
an unstoppable force so far. Like,
Nightmare.
there's been nothing to slow him down yet.
Yeah, I want to
Yeah,
see
I mean,
somebody
Pyres hasn't
just.
lost a game.
If anybody picks up one game against Pyres, I'll be surprised.
It-
Good luck, Ton.
I'm gonna do my best.
yeah, that's
Oh.
gonna be big. I mean, yeah,
One
I'm
thing
looking forward to it.
I forgot to ask this last time, Ton, but were you surprised that I picked the baseball guy as my sprite?
No. No.
That's me.
Not even a bit.
Oh, I
It's-
love that.
it's-
I saw that last time. I was like, ooh, I didn't know that was a thing. That's a choice you
I
could
didn't
make.
either.
It's great.
He kind of looks like me, a little bit.
Yeah,
I'm
well,
not left-handed.
he's got a beard.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Alright.
he's a southpaw. Look at that.
Any final thoughts?
No, that was just like maybe that second game is one of the closest Pokemon games I've ever had ever. So that was a lot of fun. Thanks for that.
Yeah, thanks. A good game. GG's. Good
Yeah,
luck.
Yeah, very good game.
Yeah.
Well,
right.
and thank you for having me on.
And thank you everybody for watching, and we will see you next time on Pokemint.